Have you ever been on an airplane? If you looked out of the window of an airplane as it moved toward a runway for takeoff, you have seen a taxiway. A taxiway is a ground path used by aircraft that connects a runway with another area of an airport. Taxiways are usually made of concrete or asphalt, and much like runway surfaces, are pretty solid, anything from a foot to 5 feet in thickness. A taxiway might connect a runway and a terminal, or a runway and a hangar. Normally, only authorized airport personnel, such as pilots, are allowed to travel taxiways. Markings, signs, and colored lights are featured along taxiways and runways of major airports. What do they indicate? In this lesson, we'll explore these important indicators and discuss the information they convey to airport personnel. Roadways are marked with white lines. By contrast, aircraft paths are always marked in yellow. These yellow line markings are used to differentiate between types of surfaces or paths. A dashed line separates two pathways that are intended for aircraft but are separate routes, or otherwise aren't normally crossed. Instrument Landing System, or ILS markings, look much like ladders and indicate ILS critical areas that shouldn't be entered. A single solid yellow line normally marks the center of a taxiway. A double yellow line indicates the edge of a taxiway that shouldn't be crossed by an aircraft because the area outside of the lines is not intended for aircraft usage. Taxiways and runways also feature ground lights. They notify airport personnel of location, direction, where one should stop, and what areas are not suitable for aircraft. These lights are especially useful to pilots when it's dark outside or when visibility is poor. The edges of taxiways feature blue lights. The brightness of the edge lights can be changed by pilot request. Taxiways also have centerline lights, which are green lights running along the center of the taxiway. Runway guard lights are used when a taxiway nears a runway. Two elevated yellow flashing lights on each side of the taxiway may serve as guard lights. Alternatively, a row of ground-level yellow lights which cross the whole taxiway may be used. Clearance bar lights are used to make it more obvious where aircraft must hold position. These are made up of 3 continuous yellow lights. They might also be used for intersections between different taxiways when it's especially dark outside. Some airports may use red bar lights to indicate a place to stop. Red lights should never be crossed unless clearance is given by air traffic control and the lights have changed in color. Signs along taxiways indicate a variety of things to airport personnel. Every route has a number associated with it, similar to the way each highway used by motorists has been assigned a number. Yellow and black signs along a taxiway provide location and directional information. A black sign with yellow letters, or numbers, indicates where the aircraft is located. A letter represents the particular taxiway, such as Taxiway A or Taxiway B. A number represents the nearby runway, such as Runway 4 or Runway 5. A yellow sign with black letters or numbers shows the names of the various paths leaving an intersection. Arrows indicate which path the sign refers to. Arrows may point left, right, diagonal left, or diagonal right, and will be accompanied by a number or letter to indicate what the path is named. Red signs with white lettering indicate a position or boundary where all planes must stop, and pilots must ask air traffic control if they can proceed. A red sign with white lettering separated by a dash tells a pilot to stop at an intersection. The numbers on the sign represent the path to the left and right at the intersection, whether taxiways or runways. Instead of a number, the letters APCH might appear, which indicates a runway approach area. A red sign with a white dash on it indicates a no entry area, or a place aircraft are never allowed to enter. A red sign with ILS also indicates that the pilot should hold or stop and not continue onward. In most cases, red signs will be found with lines marking the taxiway to show where the aircraft needs to stop. Check out this image appearing on your screen. According to these signs, the aircraft is on taxiway Z and will soon need to stop and ask for clearance. To the left is runway 12. To the right is runway 30. Diagonally right is taxiway 2340M. It's a lot easier to understand how this is all laid out when you have a visual reference point, isn't it? Let's take a few moments to review what we've learned about airport taxiways and the different markings, signs, lights, and colors. A taxiway is a path along the ground used by aircraft that connects runways with other areas of the airport. There are many markings, signs, and colored lights used on airport pathways. Yellow markings on taxiways and runways indicate information about the type of path or surface and what it's used for. Different colored lights delineate taxiways or indicate the entrance to runways. Others function similarly to traffic lights on roadways used by motorists. Black and yellow signs indicate location and direction. Red and white signs indicate a place to stop until air traffic control gives clearance to continue. So, the next time you're on a plane, take a look out the window, if you're lucky enough to have gotten assigned a window seat, and see if you can make out the different airport markings and signs or lines of lights that we've talked about. You just might be surprised how much you remember.